In this video, we will talk about how two-pole relay can be used as automatic changeover to build automatic changeover to select between multiple generators.
Okay, now the work is completely done. These are the automatic changeover. So this one replaced the first knife switch changeover that we removed in the morning. So the two here, we parallel this one, So this one stays as one pole, this one stays as one pole to give us 240 amps.
Welcome to this video. This is how to use only relay, two-pole relay, 220 volts to do automatic changeover configuration in building, an entire building. This is a brilliant idea, the cheapest way of doing automatic changeover. So this is when we are doing the test running. You can see after the total installation is being done, the hotel is powered successfully and the changeover can select successfully between inverter, petrol generator and NEPA power supply. Now let's go to how we achieve this. So this is how we started the configuration. All the changeover there are two changeover there. That's knife switch changeover and this gear switch changeover. So we quickly need to remove this. Firstly is to write on paper tape to indicate all the wire, to know their function, to know the purpose of each of the wire. Because if the wire is not being labeled, if you remove all the wire and bring out the changeover, you have to go and rewire the house. For not to allow such thing to happen, you have to label all the wire. After the proper labeling, you remove the wire to be able to drag them out one after the other. There are different ways to do automatic changeover. This is the cheapest way of doing automatic changeover by using only relay. By doing the programming of the relay, no timer is needed, no battery is needed, no contactor is needed, just only this relay. As you can see, relay is an electrical component that is very strong, capable of receiving electric signal to change pole from one circuit to another circuit. This relay is very strong, it has longer lifespan and it has durability, it has good efficiency. Now let us do a demonstration on a wooden outside. You can see this is two 120 amps relay position on that wood. So now first thing is to remove the cover of the relay. By removing the cover of the stereo relay, you can see the components inside the relay. The relay has two poles each on each of the relay sets. You have to screw it down to that wood. You will screw each of the relay to the wood. So when you screw the relay to the wood properly, that is when you will now hang that wood to pass all the cable inside. Let's go back to the installation. Coming back to the installation now, we need to remove the screw that hold down that gear switch changeover to the wall and successfully take down the gear switch changeover. So now we have carried down the gear changeover and we are knocking down the wooden to the wall to be able to screw down all the relay that we want to use as our automatic changeover. So inside that place is very dark because all the electricity need to be turned off. All the power supply in the hotel has been turned off that moment. Torchlight is needed to be used. That is the torchlight the engineer were using that moment to be able to create lighting in the place. That is why you can see that the camera is not sharp in that moment. So after first relay is being screwed down, carefully the cable from the knife switch changeover, we've been removing one after the other and been positioning into the relay pin.
You need to use pliers or tools to lock the cable lock properly and put insulation tape. When you tape it with a insulating tape properly, you will now screw it down to the relay pole. You can see as we are using screwdriver machine to screw it down to the relay pole. So it needs to be strongly tightened down. Okay. Every wire tí ó jẹ́ tí tó lọ síbi load pin wọn là ń yọ yẹn. Now we are removing the load wire that carry power supply to the house from the changeover. After removing it, what next? Next thing is to dress the wire, pass it to the normal side it's supposed to pass for the beautification of the wiring. After it's been properly passed, look at it whether the wire too long than the required. If it's too long, next thing is to cut some part of it away. If it is not too long, next thing is to bend the wire and dress it. Dress the head of the wire to the area where the wire wants to go. So now you can see engineer is dressing the wire, and engineer have noticed that the wire too long, he has cut the excess. So now engineer has put cable lock on the head of the wire using plier to press it down. If you have the tools or lock the cable lock, you can also use it. Now engineer is putting the second cable lock to the second wire, second load wire that will go to the relay armature. Now it's time to tape it. Engineer is putting tape on the cable lock for proper insulation. So now it's time to screw it down. You can see the engineer using screwdriver machine to screw down the wire to the relay. Now let us screw down the second wire. Engineer is scrolling it down. He's scrolling down the second wire to the relay.
Now it is time to remove the next cable from the changeover and pass it to the next pin on the relay where the next wire will go to. That particular cable engineer is removing at that moment is the one that will go to national grid pole on the relay pin. That is a mains cable, the supply that is coming from national grid. Wáyà tó ń bọ̀ látara náà NEPA nìyẹn, látara náà jọba, látara agbára ẹ̀lẹ́tíríkì iná ìjọba wá sínú relay pin nínú automatic changeover tí à ń ṣe lọ́wọ́. That is the wire you see that engineer is preparing to connect. Is putting cable lock on the head of the wire because that particular wire that will go to normally open pin on the relay. There is a bypass connection to the relay coil that will be connected to that wire. Engineer is designing the cable and putting cable lock on the head of the wire already. If you need more details about how you can do this connection, you can contact us through the comment section on the video.
Now you don't see, say, the work, they move seriously well. You see, say, the connection, they go proper. Engineer, they screw down the wire of the changeover as the wiring they go seriously where that one where engineer the ties now with the another wire we carry power supply from national grid enter the other pin of the relay. You see that tiny one way join to the thicker wire. Now with the wire that carry 220 volts and live supply to the relay coil. The same connection is to be repeated at the other side of the relay. That other wire that you see say engineer won't remove from the knife switch, that manual changeover. Now be the second wire that carry the second power supply from the other side of the to the other side of the relay from NEPA power supply. So you need to peel the head of the wire and cut the wire according to the measurement them. So engineer don't cut them already. So when cutting the wire finish, next thing, waiting be the next thing, where go happen? May you watch as engineer they do them. You go twist the wire together proper and put cable lock and use your plier to lock the cable lock down to the wire proper. As you lock the cable lock finish, what is the next thing to do? If you follow the video from the beginning, when you lock the cable lock wella, you use your sellotape to tape the cable lock head and use your screwdriver machine, whether a manual screwdriver or an electric screwdriver you want use. You screw it down to the relay. That is our automatic changeover. You screw the wire down to the relay. After screwing it down, you see that connection where engineers just do. Now be the connection to the switch to select whether you want the relay to function automatically or you want it to function manually. That is the connection that engineer just do now. After that, you see, say engineer use the relay cover to cover the relay. Now the cover of the relay, a transparent cover where we say you're going to see the pin inside the relay. Now next thing is to come out the knife switch changeover. You see engineer has already removed the knife switch changeover because he has no function there again. As the work is proceeding, engineer is installing the next relay because the total relay that will be there is 3 relay. The next relay is going to be parallel together to pass just one line of wire. If it is neutral wire, it is neutral wire that will flow through the 2 pin. The 2 pin is to be parallel together to pass just one single pole of electricity to double the amperage of the relay capacity. That relay is 120 amps. So engineer is installing the second relay. So when paralleling the 2 pole, the relay will give you 240 amps.
So now the big changeover is the remaining wiring needed to be done. The inverter changeover, the manual changeover will remove it. We have used this one to replace the manual changeover. This one will function automatically. So these 2 changeover now, this 120 amps, this 120 amps. So we have already indicated all the wire. So now we will parallel the 2 pole on this changeover. This changeover will serve as one line. We will parallel the 2 pole on this changeover to also serve as one line. So this one will give us 240 amps. Each of the line is 120 amps. This one will give us 240 amps to make it more powerful. So let's continue the wiring. Keep watching.
As it be, na so na don't hear am so. engineer don't already explain how the connection will go. So now the two ogbonge big relay that remain is the next connection that the engineer is doing. That is the connection that connects between petrol generator and national grid. That's a NEPA power supply in Nigeria. Here it's called NEPA. So the wiring that has been removed from the big gear switch before is the one to be connected back into the two relay. Now you see, say one after the other, engineer is connecting the connection one step after the other. You see, say this one now eyes witness. The connection cannot difficult again because engineer has already labeled all the wire from the beginning before engineer remove the big gear switch in the beginning of the video. If you remember, all the wire has been labeled. So next thing is just to be removing the taking the wire one by one according to the label on the wire and been putting cable lock. You need to dress the wire to cut the excess. You know, the wire will sometimes be too longer than the measurements needed for the wiring to be look neat, to look beauty wella as you dey look am for the appearance. You need to cut any excess wire and put cable lock on the head of the wire and make sure you use tape to tape the neck of the cable lock proper for proper insulation, because insulation class is very matter, is very important. It dey important for electrical wiring. If you insulate the system wella, there won't be any electricity spark. After that, you use your screwdriver machine to screw the wire down. The next wire is to be passed through the back of the wood. So as you are passing it, you label the necessary one that you know that you don't want to miss. Any connection that you know that you can't remember the function, maybe you need to remove the wire later. You need to label it and do the needful before you proceed in the connection. So now him be the thing where engineer they do. It's good to take the necessary precaution in electrical work, not to do any mistake, because electrical mistake is a big mistake that should not happen, that you need to run for. You can see that on a gradual process, the wiring is looking beautiful as you see them. Now, the relay, that last relay has been parallel. The middle relay has been parallel, as we have said. So, the green wire is the one that carry electricity from live supply from a national grid. That is a NEPA power supply. It's the one that carries come. So it is a thick aluminum cable wire, a 60 mm cable wire. So engineer need to join flexible copper wire that can easily take the cable lock, that is easily bendable, that is flexible, to connect into the relay national grid pole, the normally open pin on the relay, and join to the 60 mm cable of that copper, and make sure say the wire bend and join proper. So now engineer has done that. Is using screwdriver machine to screw down the flexible 60 mm wire into the normally open on the relay, and using cable peeler to peel the wire to be able to join it with the 60 mm copper. So now the connection is continuing as engineer is connecting the signal cable into the second the last relay. That signal cable is the switching wire that we select between automatic and
manual. If you want the changeover to function as manual, you don't want it to switch over to the national grid automatically, you can use the switch to control that. So now the connection is moving forward. As you can see on your screen, engineer is scrolling the signal cable and he has successfully done that. Finish. That cable engineer is doing now is to pass 220 volts power supply to the relay coil. All the wiring is successfully done. Now
the work is completely done. These are the automatic changeover. So this one replaced the first knife switch changeover that we removed in the morning. So the two here, we parallel this one, So this one stays as one pole, this one stays as one pole to give us 240 amps, because each of the pole is 120 amps. We parallel two poles together to get 240 amps. We parallel these two poles together to get another 240 amps. So these two work as a unit. Live wire pass through here, live neutral supply pass through here, live supply pass through here. So now we put this alarm. The purpose of the alarm is when they are running their petrol generator in the hotel, because we didn't put automatically turn off to the petrol generator. So the petrol generator is not the type that can be easily done. The generator house is very far away, so the owner, there is no preparation to put auto turn off to the petrol generator. So as a result of that, we decide to put this alarm here whenever there is power supply from national grid. The alarm will make noise. So let us test the alarm. So it's like I restart it. So everything is perfectly done.
Sorry, I won't ask this. I don't ask the question before, but I forget now. I need to ask back.
Okay. Yes. So there is power supply in the hotel. Actually, we may not go around, but this to show that there is power supply in the hotel. Everything is perfectly done. Thanks for